Bro sen onu oraya harcayacağını sen sub olsana amına koyayım. Bit atıp sub mı dileniyorsun?
Telling me some scary things.
It is, yeah. I mean, one thing to say, Shados is, in my eyes, been one of the most
Matches.
self-sufficient guys, right? In some of these
Very
positions
true,
where
very
you put
true.
him, you know, where he has to clutch up, he has to take a 1v3, 1v4. So, again, big expectations from him on the arena, but I think he's capable. Now, actually, Tom makes a really good point. I think this composition also leans in Gambit potentially leaning away from some of that map control, playing a little more aggressively.
Take it in, 5 more seconds and we get underway in map 3 of the quarters here for the Valorant champions. It's going to be X10 on the attack inside, Gambit on the defending side. And it looks like X10 already has a plan in mind.
So actually, Aldo going to confirm Nats.
Polar Panda. Çok teşekkür ederim kardeşim. 5 kişiye sablık yediğin için. Bro bugün dönemedim, toplantıdaydım. Sen bana at Instagram'dan, ben bakacağım yayından sonra. Attığım link Mountain ile ilgili. Çok da bakamam şu an. Maç arası bakacağım.
And you have now got Gambit looking a little mad, a little dangerous. Cruz, it was a nice try.
Lan dedim ne oluyor? Temiz.
But 5 still stand for Gambit. And if this is what it looks like when Gambit get mad, I'm worried for everyone else.
Oğlum niye 3 tane atıyor?
If they do want to lean a little heavier on aggression here, that's when it gets scary.
Oğlum bundan lan, lütfen lan.
Hey, we've seen the kind of weirdness from them, right? And I say weirdness in a nice way. I don't know how to describe it. In that envy game, right? Roll your mind back to that grand final, and they just unleashed, right? Like it was the weirdest scene, and Envy could not handle it. It was almost impossible to predict. It's something that Gambit has
zaman bunu
done
izlerim.
when the chips are down. When something's happened that's put them out of sorts, or maybe they feel it's the best possible situation. So we come back in the fourth
Şu an yerde orospunun çocuğu.
Daha komikti. Gene forsladılar. Gene X'ten forsu. Rotasyon geliyor. Defo geçirme. Defo, defo. Nice lan. Yalnız gördü mü geri döndüklerini? Eyvah. Eyvah. Biri 12, biri 21 ya. 22.
Favor of Gambit to close this one out with Nats really just one shot opportunity on both players here.
That's the first bit of information that has been relayed. Now Sushiboy can get towards the site, but Nats was just hunting down his prey. Leaving it all with Scary. 21 HP.
30 seconds left.
And the notion of his position will be kept in mind. He's still got about 20 seconds to play with, so he can do something with this maybe. But it's all in the unknown now.
Again, taps the orb, again, wants to make Gambit believe he's still committed to A. And timing's
bayağı gitti adam.
Yeah, he's going to have time for the plant, but...
Tamam hadi kurdun diyelim. 20 cansın. Spectre'm var. Ne yapacaksın? Tamam. Kurdun. Mid'e döndün short'tan. Tamam. Oradan baktın. Birini vurdun hadi. Hadi birini vurdun. Yok ebenin. Ha oradan. Spectre ile. Tamam. Vuranı, çözeni vurdun. Ah be abi. Spectre olmasaydı güzel olurdu da. Aynen öyle, aynen öyle kanka.
Ne yapıyorsun bro?
İyi kanka, ne olsun ya. Sen ne yapıyorsun?
Second objective there, but unfortunately Spectre at that range is so difficult for him to close this out.
Şunun amına koyayım ya, sana bir şey olmasın.
Bizim patron olur kendisi, biliyor musun?
Harbi mi? Kankammış diyorlar.
Yakın arkadaş.
Ya kaç. Durali
Bak
4.
işte.
ayın kutlu olsun. Çok teşekkürler. Çok sağ ol.
That could be what? A fair few rounds in the hole here if you're looking towards X10 money. 3 marshals, 2 sheriffs.
Helal oğlum Redgar.
And on the other side, you have got the upgrades now starting.
Overin kim?
through.
Cyber.
Defo got his rifle, shade off, same thing. The rest also
Abi ben BBL'ciyim ya.
full utility, heavy armor, all the goodies and the trimmings surrounding it.
Beklemiyordum. Patladım. Aferin oğlum. Aferin.
Böyle bizde böyle.
Oo Oğuzhan HG kanka. Oğuzhan değil lan. Cyber oğlum.
Abi bu çocuk hep böyle yapıyor.
Abi senin adın neydi lan?
Kemal diyor.
Anıl.
Nasıl adın neydi? Ha?
Anıl. Abi ben sana sürekli kanka diyorum ya.
Evet oradan karıştırdım.
Oradan karıştırdım. Ben bir de hep nickle hitap ediyorum ya.
And this is
Ama kim
potentially
oldu
the
bakayım,
not
Cyber'ı?
necessarily final
Aynen öyle.
evolution of Gambit, but it's one that's very hard to
Maçız. Asil
quantify.
panda maçız.
Now the early punches have been favorable to them, so keep that in mind as we
Kim
go
bu
forward,
agamız?
but they're looking
Bu agamız
good. They're
Cyber
looking
Rus.
good, and we're getting Defo
Kendisi
kind of finding
YouTube
that sharpness to himself.
content creator.
We saw making a bit of a
YouTube'da
debut,
gerçekten,
I'd say, more than map two.
Güzel videolar yapıyor.
Already,
Güzel
we now
videolar
need to look at
çekiyor.
what comes
YouTube'dan takip edebilirsiniz Cyber Rus arkadaşlar.
They don't care.
Arada da bir yayın yapıyor galiba. Yapıyor musun lan yayın?
This could be another brawl in
Ne
middle.
yapıyoruz abi
Cruz
arada?
takes the head off of
Makarasını
Shadows,
ama.
and now the battle
Oy,
begins.
Defo.
With two, the adjustment
eğlenceliydi.
sublime, and he still wants more.
Abi bu çocuklar
But
kim
this isn't
Gambit'e
being
map
unanswered.
vermişler?
It's
Map
still-
almışlar
it's still a
Gambit.
3v3.
Vallahi ben de anlamadım ya. Gambit de yani. Çocuklar böyle deli oynuyor biliyor musun? Deli yapıyor kendini, alıyorlar bir şekilde roundları ya. Ay midem bulandı.
Your ultimates available on the Viper's Pit being the crucial one here if they can get free access to A site and get set up.
Orka Talk.
Cool, should be able to get an
Orka
upgrade
Talk.
from this, so we'll be
7. ayın
potentially
kutlu
two
olsun.
rifles on this retake, but the ult goes in as well, just to make sure safety on the cross and the post plant.
Bu el gider moruk.
Danger happens, and yes, it is now two vandals being locked in for Gambit. But they have no idea what waits on the other side here.
I mean, the null command available as well. So whether or not X10 want to throw everything
Cyber,
out,
senin
which
de
they
boğazın
see a couple
ağrıyor mu?
times already in the series.
Evet.
Oğlum ne oldu bize ya?
We'll send a flash in.
Vallahi ne oldu o gün ya?
Herkesin boğazlar gitti amına koyayım.
So very little actually revealed on this side, so they're gonna have to find out. With a gun at their side, Chronicle can only get one, and Scary is there.
Evet, Jurox da hasta.
X10,
Kemal de
they
hasta.
win the
İlayda da
battle
hasta
in
olmuş.
middle. But the war yet to be decided at 3-1.
Oh
So
lan.
the first on the board, but
Oh
it looked
be abi.
okay. But Gambit again,
Salgın var
they will
abi.
keep finding new
Salgın,
ways to
salgın.
approach this.
Ne oldu yine, ne salgın?
I don't want to say overzealous, but
Deoxys 13. ayın kutlu olsun ya Rauf.
contest X10 and
Kaç yaşında adamsın,
this
yaptın.
early round map control.
Benim de ağrıyor bu arada boğazım.
Bu nasıl bir
Again, they're
tutuş lan?
brimming with confidence right now.
And how are you meant to have a break?
Böyle tutuyor mouse.
Like the mental game is
But it takes so
impossible.
many rounds to
Yeah.
chip away at that, yeah.
Oh, and we've got to walk as well. That's actually pretty imperative. And the shot goes astray. So now they're going to pick up the pace, it looks like. Really hit this B-side, put Chronicle under all of this weight, all of this pressure. Paddy going to try and close down
Eyvah,
on it. It's going
eyvah.
to be Sushi Boys to find it.
Bu
Shadows makes it to
esporcular
the
hava
side in
olsun
time,
diye
but Scary
salgın
doesn't
yaptılar
care.
abi.
And now Defo.
Hava olsun diye ne yapıyorlar?
Rengar and Nats, that
Böyle
still in
klavye
play.
dik
You're always
falan
be considering
kullanıyorlar.
that save if that
Maksat
spike
farklı
plant goes
gözüküyor.
down this early.
CS'ci kullanışı ya o.
Oh, they're getting wrapped on in mid as well. It will eventually get there if they do try and come back in.
Timing going to be crucial
No
on
picks.
that flank, and
Yeah, it's
actually,
safe.
yeah, Gambit, they will peel away. Give the operator a big consideration to make
Çakı
there.
gibiyim mi? Allah Allah, Veno'da hiçbir şey yokmuş bak.
I think we did about halfway through map 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
this
play.
is
Ya hasta olmamış mı?
again
yani?
another round where
iyi.
X10 just looks so comfortable in that death ball approach towards
Yep.
B site. Unfortunately, there's not an awful lot for Chronicle to do there. He's kind of stuck in on
Almanya'da
Bankiller.
soğuk algınlığı sanılan şüphelerin %90'ı omikron varyantı çıkıyormuş by the way. Eyvah!
Put their second on the board
Ya
now.
omikron varyantı ne ya? Bu virüsün kaç varyantı var?
Yeah, there's
Bu yeni
an
çıktı moruk.
opportunity here, Defo.
Sıkıntı bir varyant.
Potentially throw the operator,
Aşı maşı da
let
çok
somebody else
kurtarmıyor.
play the Blade Storm, so
Yep.
they get
Bende aşı yok
probably
abi
still
zaten.
fairly
Hiç olmadın mı aşı?
Aa,
Oğlum sen salak mısın?
See here, the utility is
Deyince.
perfect there too.
It is.
This is the freebie that we saw, yeah.
İnsanın kendini bilmesi iyi lan.
Gereken cevabı aldım, o yüzden bir şey diyemedim ya.
they fight as one. There is no way to fall back from half of these angles. Their spacing is great. They are really applying pressure.
I think Tom said it best. It's the faith. It's the trust in each other. It's so visible in some of these rounds.
It's something you dream
Ben de
of as a
geçirmedim bu arada
player to
Covid.
have this much
Ben 2
Sadece
doz
bir
oldum.
aşım var.
and consideration of your teammates every single time.
Kanka belki de
You're always
geçirdin,
gonna have someone
bilemez.
there for you. You're never on your own in this and
Kanka hissederdim amına koyayım ya aslında.
İşte bazen hissetmiyorsun kanka. Vücudunun bağışıklık sistemi o kadar iyi oluyor ki hissetmiyorsun kanka.
Şimdi skor lan.
Sen de domuz gibisindir ha Ruh.
Kanka hiçbir şey olmaz ha.
Bu arada 3. doz bizim yaş aralığına birey için de açılacak abi.
Kimin? Bizim yaş aralığına mı?
Evet.
Dur Leyla, genç miyim lan ben de?
Ben çok geri kaldım abi. Şimdi başlasam en az 2 ay var ya.
Oğlum öyle değil. Başla da direkt başla.
Böyle
Cyber.
böyle diye gitmeyecek.
Git ol. Salak olma. Allah korusun, olursun. Bir şey olur. Bir de seninle uğraşmayalım amına koyayım.
No flank coming through from Gambit either.
It's all one direction. Relax Tom, we're not talking about you.
Ne sigarası oğlum, aşıya başlatıyorum ya. Ben sigarayı bıraktım ha. Evet, ben Aykut tutuyorum sadece. Ney? Çaydır falan. Ama geçen içtim tabi sigara mecburen. Dışarıda Aykos olmuyor mu? Mekandasın, Aykos mu içeceksin amına koyayım? Onunla mı uğraşacaksın?
O da doğru.
Alıyorsun sigarayı, yakıyor. Tam bırakmış sayılmam aynen. Peki Gambit lose'layacak mı acaba bunu ya? Böyle yalandan kaybederlerse koparım gerçekten ya.
Öyle gibi gözüküyor.
Turnuvanın şeyi değil mi favorisi? Ben mi yanlış
Yani turnuvanın favorilerinden biri. Öyle söyleyeyim. Son Masters'ın şampiyonu adamlar sonuçta.
Ulan bari Gambit de fanı falan olsaydı da onu izleseydik ya.
Eyvah net.
Oy koyayım. Etma. Ah be. Redgar. Koşma benim be.
Hadi bakalım. Hadi bakalım. Eko aldılar.
I'm not even sure how that flipped back in Gambit's favor, but Redgar finding headshots with the Guardian certainly a factor. I have no idea.
Aykut'un hiç zararı yok mu abi? Tabii ki var. Sonuçta nikotin alıyorsun.
Pre-patched Bucky there. It was a left click as well.
Redgar's looking kind of on it right now.
Geçmiş olsun Çerkes Ahmet.
And that was the play from Patty up and over the top.
Boğazım ağrıdı.
I love watching these two teams play, and I didn't
Boğazının
think
bir
I
tarafı mı
would
ağrıyor sadece?
stylistically. I thought it could.
Kanka.
It is. It really is. But now we've seen Gambit
tarafı
out of
da
their comfort
diyebilirim.
zone, and also I'd
Ama
say
bir tarafı
on
şiş.
especially map 2, X10 a little out of what I'd expect from them. They played this really nice game of chess between each other.
Arkadaşlar Google'a soracağınız soruları bana sormayın. Okno, Turko Vek olsun abi. Tamam abi.
Ben yemek yiyebiliyor mu abi? Ben 2 gündür yemek de yiyemiyorum boğaz ağrısından.
Çorba. Tost iyi gidiyor. Çorba çok güzel gidiyor. Mercimek çorbası.
Çorba, ben de çorba takılıyor.
Ama evet yemek yenmiyor doğru düzgün ya. Polar Panda 100 lira. Abi yazdım ben. Ne zaman müsait olursa hiç sorun yok. Seviyorsun. Çok teşekkür ederim Polar Pandacığım. Çok sağ ol balım.
Ne oldu lan?
I'm a little ashamed to say almost. I really didn't think we'd see Gambit pushed into this look that they do
Kostüm üşüdüm
occasionally.
ha.
I did
Biliyorum
think it'd be
oyunun
map
indiğini.
2 that got converted.
Niye üşüdün lan?
But it does seem as though
Hava
we get a
soğuk
couple
mu
of
oluyor
upsets.
acaba?
We do love upsets.
Technical timeouts and upsets.
Hand in hand.
One and the same. Right, we go back in 4-3.
Abi bademci
Gambit get
şişmesine
a bit of
dondurma
a
çok iyi
gifter on
geliyormuş
that one,
biliyor
but
musun?
Shados.
Çivi çiviyi söker mesela.
Feeling a little brave, but he did have the backup of Defo,
Soğuk
so I don't
bademci
blame him.
şişirtmiyormuş abi o
What's
yanlış
the
bilinen
plan to
gerçekmiş.
navigate past this?
Kimdi ya bunu? Barış Özcan mı?
Doktor, yok doktorlar diyor abi.
Allah Allah.
I like this progress being made on the other side.
Bize niye hep kızıyorlardı?
That just caught my
İşte
eye. I love it. They
saçmalık bu.
punished Nats on the
Soğukta da hasta
rotations. Now they
olmuyormuş
can kind
insanlar.
of lean back
Soğuk
over this
hasta
way.
yapmıyor.
There is a player
Ne
in
hasta yapıyor?
between
Soğuk
Galato's
su
now
içmek de
Chronicle
virüs
who could
yapıyormuş.
potentially be a thorn in the side, but he's
Kastik.
just back here in the steps.
Vallahi
Soğuk,
şakasız.
soğuk algınlığı diye bir şey var mesela. Ne o?
Abi
Üşütmek mesela.
Tam Google'a yaz soğuk algınlığı.
Ya salak salak konuşma. Sen yatarken aç bakalım
Abi
klimayı.
ben mi diyorum bunu? Ben doktor muyum? Ben niye salak?
Sen aç bakalım klimayı. Kökle bakalım klimayı, ne oluyor sabah
Telefonunu
kalkınca sana
çıkarsana
amına
sen.
koyayım.
Telefonunu
Hiçbir şey
çıkar.
olmuyor.
Ağzın gözün yamuluyor.
Çıkar
Öyle
telefonu
bir şey
çıkar.
yokmuş abi.
Polar Panda 10 kişiye sablık. Kral teşekkür ederim. Cansın.
Yeah, massively so. Even if they get a bit closer on this, he can still hold his
Aa bak Serkan'ı yazdığını oku
steady the
abi.
breathing. As yes, the rest of his team are in trouble.
Serkan
He knows
yazdıysa
he's
tamam.
Bademcik ameliyatı oldum abi, sürekli dondurma yedim, cidden dondurma işe yarıyor bademcikte. Oğlum bademcik ameliyatı olduysan, sürekli dondurma yediysen, bademciğin olmadığı için zaten bir etkisi olmayacak ki. Dexus.
Ya, bakınız mesela Ridik anlatalım.
Ferit zor.
Bademcik olayım abi.
Hı hı.
Abi, bademcik olmayınca daha sıkıntı aslında. Tamam zor hasta oluyorsun ama olduğunda ölüyorsun direkt.
Çünkü bademcik o şeyleri tutuyor, virüsleri. Orada enfekte olmasını sağlıyor. Vücuda girmesini engelliyor, değil mi?
Evet,
Tabii.
kesinlikle. Bir de bademcik şişmiyor bizde, direkt boğaz ana sağlıyoruz.
Yeah, pace big change on this one, and Defo and Chronicle gonna instantly turn the screws, make it hurt this time. No reply, no entry. Chronicle, this is his. He will not relent on it. Shuts it down, sends it back. Gambit, quick reply.
Bademcik 3-4 tane ölümcül hastalıktan koruyor.
Anla ki.
Allah'ın Ridik.
Abi. Baban lise terk, amcık. Eleven seni sikeceğim bir gün ama ne zaman az kaldı yani. Radarımdasın.
Havası.
Sıçın ile tıp fakültesi.
Yep.
Doktorlara soruyorlardı, boğaz ağrımasına bademcik içmesi falan filan, soğuk su dondurma birebirmiş. Allah Allah ya.
Evet sıcak
Oğlum
değil,
benim
soğuk iyi
bildiğim
geliyormuş.
bademcik şişince ne sıcak ne soğuk.
Yok buz gibi
Arada
abi,
böyle
hatta
şey yapıyorsun. Ilık şeyler içiyorsun, yiyorsun.
En
Sen
çok
zaten
acaba
terli soğuk su içmek de kötü değilmiş abi.
Ben ameliyat olduğumda şeydi abi, doktor full dondurma yedirdi bana.
Hasiktirler. Oha ben de ameliyat olacağım.
Ya o muhabbeti duymuştum bademcik ameliyatında, öyle bir olayı. Arada ılık.
I told you the story about Foxy's 1v5. Can't wait to hear it. Yeah, but this is when it started, 'cause he picked up. It was the other round. 6-4.
Tamam evet, maçız artık ya, bak sikeceğim Cyber seni. Geldin bütün dikkatimi dağıttın ya.
Hazırlan.
Allah Allah. Maçım.
Maçız.
Abi şimdi benim biraz boğazım ağrıyor. Ben o zaman gidip
Nereye kanka?
5 yıllık dondurmayı gömüyorum.
Hayır hayır, yapma öyle bir şey kanka.
Afiyet
Kolpa ya.
olsun abi.
The disparity in money can't be ignored. 3 sheriffs, 2 marshals. Light armor between 2, and then you.
Ya bırakın beni, yiyeceğim ben.
Gambit. Well deserved off the back of the work from Defo, I feel, finding a lot of success, and I still find it so interesting with Defo because he was never much of a highlight to me online, but he gets to LAN and this is a different player altogether.
Really isn't. Again, it's in the scenarios where here this game's going to slow down a little bit. That operator becomes huge in terms
Batuhan
of
7. ayın kutlu olsun,
keeping
teşekkürler.
X10, almost keeping them honest in the early round. At least they have to figure out the setup. They almost can't just go, balls to the wall and charge down one side.
Look at Nats just sitting, anti-flashing. If anyone's going to come through, going to peel away for now. Be a little cautious of middle. And Shados making sure he's kept safe for now. And now the reveal. Nats wins it. Couldn't quite get the follow-up. Again, we look at the amount of damage done, the possibilities of it. If it gets any more dangerous, that's when we can start paying
Lol.
mind.
Nice lan hep.
Anything under 3 is good damage done.
Kendi
Abi
kör
ondan
oldu.
pa- flash mı atıyor?
Scary.
Amına
Actually
koyayım.
does get it. So now down to 2. Defo and Chronicle, Rifle now
Silah
picked
aldım,
up.
ultisi var.
Eyvah,
shit.
eyvah
Destin, we
kanka.
talked about these clutches, Hypok. Is this going to be another one?
Potential effort to get it
Nice
done.
oldu.
Ahead of the Viper's pit. Maybe trying to catch one member of Gambit off
Eyvallah
guard,
Spanlı,
but Chronicle
teşekkür ederim.
wise
Bak maçsınız. Bak siz de maçtan fokusunuz kaydı bak. Chat.
X10 now. I mean, this is huge.
Tamam anladık amına koyayım, tamam ya. Soğuk içeceğim, tamam soğuk yiyeceğim ya. Ne bilmeyeyim, dün öğrenmişler, bugün herkes böyle bir anda doktor kesildi amına koyayım. Tamam en bilgili sizsiniz, hadi maçsınız. Salın artık.
On the side of Gambit. Again, a much heavier lean here. You see on the minimap, Sushi Boys towards
Double
bottom
up?
mid, and yeah, actually the double up Redgar. Again, he's controlling deep within halls. I think that's a
Oh,
little bit understandable. But
Shadows.
Shadows again tries to find something. He's punished.
ya.
And Nats does something similar as well. Over
Yeah.
towards
4'te 3
Alpha,
oldu bir
but it's
anda
all
oyun.
traded out efficiently and effectively towards X10.
Nice
Now it comes
oğlum
down to
Defo.
Defo, who stands tall on the first challenge. Chronicle outdone and now down to 2. Defo, it's on you if they keep coming this way, but they're not. Keep your eyes
Canları
on
az
the
bak.
man on the screen right
Big
now.
boys.
Sushi Boys has been finding every weakness,
Kanka
every
adam aldı
vulnerability
CT'yi ya.
on the other side.
And he's so quick to react in this lurk position, right? He finds a kill, and look where he is. 5 seconds later, he's pressuring
bir dakika var.
spawn for X10.
But I like this mid
NT bir
coming down, so they're
oktu.
holding both avenues to make sure this plant is at least bare minimum safe. Now they can fold in.
Güzel
a little
drone,
bit.
güzel
Foxy
drone.
can kind of play with the others. Now Redgar's going to at least find out where one is. Pops the cage up
Vur
on the
bunu.
other side to give himself a little bit of safety, but you can see he's not all that safety. But there's layers.
Eyvah,
As you
eyvah,
said, you don't
Redgar.
get a fight on one, it's all of them.
Redgar mısın
And
sen
now
nesin ya?
Defo, this is your time to shine, baby. That's going to be impossible to do, and Sushi Boys has given them another round there,
Okay,
finding
7-5
so
nakları
much
ol.
room for them.
I gotta say, and actually, Sushi Boys, in terms of those 5 rounds that X10 did find,
Breeze için
it's
bilmiyorum
2 or 3
tabii
there
ama.
that he's the key stakeholder for
Yep.
X10 in finding some success.
7-5 yani.
Okay.
Belli değil,
and
belli
this
olmuyor
is
kanka
now
ya.
really coming down to the
Momentum.
wire. This is a close
Team
enough
map'i mi
half that can
kanka?
go either way.
Bence bir şey
I'm
map'i
happy
değil abi
with
böyle
both teams,
maçlarda.
provided that this could be
Tamam.
honestly
diyemezsin
on
yani.
any of them to take either way though. But I don't know how to call this anymore. I just want to watch this unfold in front of me. So what we're going to do is hand it down to the desk, who can be the ones to tell you which way this should go.
Thank you very much, Pansy. And
Ana, Yinsu ne kadar tatlı olmuş lan.
like Nats, more than Nats is, which is crazy.
Insu'da saç dökülmesi mi var lan?
Those maps where it's been kind of weird in terms of how it's been going because you've had those sort of pace changes, those initial 5-man
Fener gol
stands
attı
that we've
mı?
seen from X10 where they're just running into the site, and then just moments after that they start leaving a man behind, and that man behind managed to catch Nats with his pants down, managed to lurk through sites and take so much control. So I've been really impressed with how they played, especially considering they had a 3-0 deficit to start. They brought this half back. The only problem is having such a strong defense for Gambit, it worries me.
Yeah, I think the pace change is the biggest point here, right? Because when we think about X10, we think about that fast-paced aggression. Yeah. This time it was so slowed down and calculated.
Defo'nun
that allowed
dövmesi güzelmiş.
to get these weird flank of the reflanks off, right? Because as soon as they get into that A site, what is their win condition? It's scary. It's those Vipers mollies, right? And it just seems like Foxy and the rest of
Baksana bu
X10,
rahatlığı adamların ya. Kanka bir de rahat oynuyorlar ya. Şimdi Gambit'te baskı var. Elenirlerse taşak geçilecek. Yani Gambit gibi bir takımın çeyrek finalde elenmesi üzücü olur. Bir de X10'e eğlenmeleri. O yüzden baskı var yani. Diğerleri de rahat. Elisinde oyun oynuyorlar. Underdog olmak avantajlı ya. Mental avantaj veriyor.
Koça baksana dalga geçiyor
Tabii
takımda.
tabii kanka. Takılın ya diyor bak.
Oyuncağın önü sikeyim ya kanka. O nasıl vuruşlar falan.
Aynen aynen. Taşak muhabbet yapıyorlar.
X10 back to you, Pansy and Hypok.
Have to see how badly do X10 want this. Can they really go the distance, or do Gambit crush the dreams now? 7-5 on the half, and we leave in towards this one, leaning in towards
Tabii canım, Sentinels'ın kürelenmesi kadar ama Sentinels gruptan çıkamadı amına koyayım.
Previous 13-0 where it was the attacking half.
Hadi bakalım.
Sert bir giriş B'ye. Tek başına Cypher var. Tek başına. Aa, bak. Max 1 kill alsın ama işte. Bak bu adam kaçmasın ama. Abi kili alıp kaçtı kanka.
Foxy got Nats after
Bu el.
up towards Cruz came in, so it is a 4v3. The spike is still yet to go down, waiting for that to be planted, but they're actually trying to fall towards CT. Sushi Boys is not necessarily ready, but he still stands and gets one.
Vermeyin artık da.
2v3.
Constantly exceeding expectation of
Biliyor
Foxy.
ki Fox vuracak.
Biliyorlar mı acaba?
Dog's gonna reveal position. He has to try and get away in
Hmm,
time.
Fox'u yakaladık
Loses
köpek.
the capability on that, and now the play. Gambit are trying to get a little
Canı bir,
dicey with this, trying to do any damage they can. Shot in the back,
Kanka
though,
belasını
spike goes
sikler
down,
çocukların amına
and it's
koyayım.
down to just Chronicle with 3 HP. What has just happened?
X10 absolutely fearless. Push through AK. I don't think anybody stopped running. And again, it was a quick piece from Gambit to try and get on. Like I said, Sushi Boys in that scenario, a 1-for-1
Ne oldu? Bomba mı yoktu? Kuramadılar mı? Ne oldu acaba ya?
Yok kanka ne oldu biliyor musun? Girdiler B'ye, adam kaybettiler, 4 kişi kaldılar. Bu arada arkadan çok hızlı geldi elemanlar. Şu window'da 2 tane adam vardı, o yüzden dediler ki CT pushlayalım. Arkalayan çok olduğu için gidelim A'ya. Ama tabi
I'm a little nervous now.
pushlarken çok adam kaybettiler.
Gambit the composed. They are the absolute embodiment of being cool under pressure. You're seeing them put to task now. The walk up tube 4-1 split. Gotta be careful on the other side. These haphazard shots down tube might get you a little more than you expected, but Patty's gonna be at least trying to fill that gap. Cruz there on the other side. Do what we're seeing on the other half, and there's Patty getting contact. So now they've got an idea that this maybe was the plan in mind.
Pati ekolara koşacak şimdi.
Chill out for a bit and just assume the angle. Even if he gets cleared, it should be tradable. He doesn't need the help. Patty with 3 and confidence starting to absolutely brim over the top for X10. It's 7-7. They are right all even.
Yeah, we talk about this is the difference here, where it's tied up straight away on the back of a comfortable pistol and round 2 here. The Prime Gaming flawless coming out in round 2. It's a really, really good building block here for X10 to get something going in the second half.
Now, I want to talk about the expectations of pressure and how the two teams feel right now. If you're Gambit, you're expected to be semi-finals, grand finals, right? Deep run.
Gambit is sweating. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still seeing X10 dancing on the stage. It's smiles in the rounds they lose. Like I said, they're playing with absolutely nothing to lose here. They've already proven themselves, right?
Yeah, beyond belief. And now we see once again Gambit looking towards his pace. Shados at the front of it, trying to be the tip of the spear. Foxy on the other side, Sushi Boys is there. Now the buy is substantially better with Gambit, so keep that in your mind. The rifles are out, but Foxy finds the timing and finds 3!
Abi inanılmaz
What is going
ya.
on between these two? How are they making
Ne
Gambit
yapıyor?
look out of sorts?
Niye ayrık oynadık?
These guys are normally so
Bilmiyorum.
refined in their approach and everything accounted for.
Yani 5 girselerdi keşke. Silahlılar, avantajlılar.
Maybe feeling a little worse for wear as
Defo ile şey ne yapıyordu? Chronicle.
within the territory now.
Hiç fikrim yok.
Defending
Mide mi
side.
bakıyorlardı acaba?
Kill de çıkartamadılar.
Way forward, but it's not completely unguarded. You still have Cruz sitting a little
Ama
bit
güzel yerden
behind
geliyorlar şu an.
Sushi Boys.
Gördük.
Keeping information out.
Gördü.
Gerçi bir HP'si
Arka.
varmış. Bir mermi.
Anyone lean into it yet? Sushi
Chronicle.
Boys trying to be calm in this.
Arkana
Cruz
bak oğlum.
closing the gap. It's
Buranın
on a
nice.
flank, but he gets found by Chronicle. The spike is yet to be recovered though.
That's a really late investment of the wall here, which could be
Nice oğlum Defo.
Defo's gonna find Sushi Boys. It comes to a 2v2.
Ha
That
2v2.
is to a purely on
V2.
spike duty right now. Foxy gonna be looking in.
Bombanın
Doesn't quite
düştüğü
get
yere
as
bakar
full
mısın Allah
information
aşkına?
as he would want. There's always a threat and there's always a danger, and Foxy now needs to be on red alert. Gambit are working as a pack, 2 of them now. Walking around, Chronicle beheads him, and Scary's gonna be sweating. 10 seconds though. Scary. Unbelievable. Gambit digs so
O
deep.
neydi
Güzel
lan?
oynadılar kanka.
And that's after Foxy goes huge for X10.
Oynayabilecekleri en iyi yerden oynadılar bu arada. Çok da güzel oynadılar. Çok da iyi oldu, tamam mı?
Chronicle koydu ortaya ya.
VP 2v4 clutch. Adamları laf ettik de.
Ama şurada mesela bak 2 kişi daha olsa
Evet daha
İki
rahat
insan da
olacaklardı
ölmeyecek.
direkt.
That was still a bonus though.
Chronicle.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Again, still kept it in
and then,
check.
and look at the
Sinirlenmişler,
Geldi.
sinirlenmişler.
Well, even, no, you know,
küfürlü
actually
birlikte
win the round
tükürük
they should.
geldi oradan.
And the damage, at least to the money, is towards Redgar. Look towards it. Light armors galore. They're feeling the pinch a little bit. On the other side, rifles around. Patty's unleashed down middle. Now, I want to see how Gambit address this. This is on them to try and deal with, but I like the walk on tube. This could be nice for them.
He's gonna get out
Chronicle
pretty
sen de
quickly
olmasan.
towards switch here. Nobody playing stairs for X10.
Bunlar bayağı ilerlemiş. Tamam bu elde aldı Gambit.
Oh,
İnşallah. Defo oradan hala veriyor. Net.
Net sıçtı. Kili vardı Nets'in.
B bomboş.
Tamam midi de
Güzel.
vurdular.
B bomboş.
Aa Shadows.
Finally falls to Cruz, but Chronicle on the trade out and mid is now up in the air, but it's a lean towards the B side.
Güzel.
Rightly so at this point.
Girin kurun abi.
Tertemiz be. Nets'in pozisyonu güzel.
I don't know if he can.
Bunun bir pik almaması lazım patinin.
Yeah, the flash is going to keep him at bay. Note his
Come
presence. The
on.
spike will safely be planted.
Spike planted.
Scary though.
Çıkma oradan net. Yürüm aynen öyle oğlum. Devam et.
Nats now this
Aynen. Aynen. Short'tan.
all the way back behind bridge. It's gonna be really difficult for X10 to figure this one out.
Yeah, but that's so much information relayed now for Gambit. They know there's nothing mid, there's probably nothing CT. All eyes draw towards this. And the timing actually works out well. Red guard called upon, but you've got Nat still in the back.
Nice oğlum. 9-7. Hadi. Hadi ekolar büyük ihtimal. Koptu maç ya.
Again, Patty straight down mid with fearless with the operator. The first round he's got the operator
Yani
behind.
Gambit çok büyük bir hata yapmadığı sürece
This defensive setup from
alırlar
X10,
ya.
and Gambit exploit that. They're up halls so quickly in that round, Lauren, where again at the point where there's three
Çok
people on
ilginç
that
şeylerde
side, Nats
oynuyorlar
doesn't
bu
even
arada
need
ya.
to overinvest in that. It's one kill, get
Tıp
out.
Tokyo,
He has full
teşekkür
control
ederim
of
o için.
rotation. And yes, luckily, actually a little bit of a push towards Cable, a little bit of pressure towards Shop. That's how they're able to, I guess, pick up the slack on that flank. But again, it's the post plant setup.
Evet o 4 ve 2'yi vermeseydi bitmemişti de maç zor duruma düşecekti Gambit. Ama Valorant böyle bir oyun işte. Ya. Valorant.
Evet 1920 1080 oynayan çok az oyuncu var. Profesyonel.
Bunlardan birisi benim.
Profesyoneldim.
Onu demeden önce başlamıştım.
Ne oynuyorsun sen? Abi?
1920'ye 1080 abi.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
Slice 0 63. ayın kutlu olsun. Çok teşekkürler. Çok sağ ol canım. Ben de kaka. Abi.
The stars
Güzel
align
mod
because
ya. En
Gambit,
sevdiğim
I mean, if
modlarımdan.
this is going to be a quick piece towards B, they're going to have a very, very comfortable setup here. Nats one away from the
Yapmayacağım lan
Viper,
eleman.
but again, if he's the one to either pick up that orb or find the plant,
Koydum.
whether or not they invest that here, but again, X10 have looked scary on the retake. They've looked scary at finding unorthodox
Bakarız.
kills in spots you wouldn't expect them to.
But I actually don't really mind a stack and a risky play.
Ne
on a round
yapıyorlar?
like this. It's fine by me. The ult does actually, I think, get invested there for Patty, so I'm kind of curious by
Tamam.
that.
Ne
And see
yapabilecekler
if they
ki?
can actually bring that to
Bir
the
dakika,
plate,
Nets
because at the moment the closest player
sana bakıyorum. Duydun hepsini.
Nats hyper aware.
Net abi.
The timing
Abi.
is so unlucky for Nats to turn around like that. Maybe hearing a step in middleweight. Patty's just found Red
Silah da var.
down to 3. Shados, Defo and Chronicle.
Bravo oğlum Chronicle. Önemli bir killdi.
Defo tucked towards the back of the site. You can see those knives just grazing
Çok
by.
güzel.
Just a shave at this point.
Abi neler yapıyor bu Pati? Ah öldü kanka.
Oh, there they are. And now the 1v1.
1v1.
Tamam silah yok silah yok. Hiçbir şey yapamaz.
Eyvah kanka. Nice lan Defo.
Defo bailing Gambit out of that round, like I said.
Ben senden azıcık öndeyim kanka bu arada benim.
Hemen.
I mean,
Hemen.
you were saying it, Nats. So early, but
22, 21.
they're charging through cannons.
Replay'e girdi.
Just makes them consider the possibility of
Defo bir kill.
somebody being a little deep.
Tabi Defo
Defo
aldı 2.
kill.
Like I said,
5
X10
kill.
3.
deadly
Nice.
on the
Tamam.
retake in a round that they shouldn't be finding that many kills. It shouldn't have come down to that.
No.
Ağaç süsleme yayını olacak Eternity Classic. Sen tu 59 aydır. Ben hasta demiş. Ya hasta mı? Seni kuşlar mı gagaladı Sami? Ne yapıyor ya? Bu ne yapıyor ya Defo?
Chronicle gonna get a little bit of chip damage. There's 2 players on the other side of this. I don't know if he's aware of it. Now he is. Where is that spike though? Look
O
towards the
takım
A
arkadaşın
side.
Chronicle. Ne yapıyorsun oğlum?
And Nats has Viper's bit, so this is all a bait and switch here.
Kapat lan oyunu.
Nice.
Kapat lan
11
oyunu.
geldi, 11 geldi. Emre Zereycan 8. en kutlu olsun.
Fena koşmaya başladılar bu arada, fark ettin mi? X10.
Evet evet, bayağı hızlı bitiyor roundlar ya.
Her yerden koşuyorlar şurada.
And what fine margins this game has been. Already, you're seeing it.
Tamam,
so
bu round'u da
apparent.
kaybettikleri
The
için
timing on
silahları
those
Harbiden
olmayacak
Black
herhalde bu
Ops
round'da.
ya.
Say they get a little further ahead.
Yeah.
That could have been then instantly a big denial of that ult coming out, catching the players correctly. A couple of seconds the other side, they get picked up just as they're getting low, just under kind of a bridge around the back of Tribox. These small moments between these two teams, I've got to say it though, the pedigree from Gambit is starting to kick in my mind. The full faith is showing with them as well.
It's the faith, and it's those sort of rounds where you sometimes criticize
Görüşürüz
Gambit,
Tolga.
where they look a little tilted, right? It's like desperation plays. It's,
Bundan sonra maç var evet.
asserting dominance.
Fnatic
almost.
Fury
It's
Esports
kind
maçı
of
var.
reminding X10 who they are, and this is a perfect example of that. I think it's so back and forth, and again, like you said, Cruz, if he's able to make that cross there,
Redgar'la Shadows
for that to go
Solid'eyim
completely
ya,
different
Redgar.
almış ya.
for X10.
Yampiri yampiri yampiri yam. Yampiri yampiri yampiri yam.
It gets me every time.
Simple Greek. Looks like they want to kind of give the idea that it could be this B piece, but look at what's waiting towards A. So if they hold their nerve, they're actually in the right place for this X10. And Gambit could be walking into a bit of a problem. I don't know if they're going to be able to read this though. And there's the Hunter's Fury going to come out.
Whoa.
Does it find anything? Going to force at least the dash away. Redgar.
Biraz
not gonna
agresif
find
miydi
what he
ya
Yani
needs.
Redgar?
deşini aldı.
Just around the corner. He's going to hear these steps. He's going to call it out and he tries to bounce. He thought it was done. He turned his eyes away for a second, but Cruz
Ne güzel
was
vurdu lan
there to
dönüp.
get his back and they don't know about Paddy.
Net.
They have no
Aa Peti!
What a
İnanılmaz!
miss for Paddy Pat, and also what a great shot from Nats.
Şaka
Fox not done
yapıyorsun.
yet. There's still something to be said about
Cross
this.
ölecek kaldıramazlar
So
onu
at least
imkanlar.
is 2v3 standing right
Yat lan
now.
aşağı.
I don't think they got
Kanka.
yeah, they can't get the res.
Aa
Nats is gonna get the kill
abi
credit
o
for
da
that one.
öldü. Bir de B'ye girdiler.
Slipped the net. He's found some space towards B site. Initially scary setup for
12 geldi.
kind of retake at least on the backside of B towards Nest.
Oğlum bir de bunlar map falan aldı amına koyayım ya.
Red alert here, but you can see already. Foxy might even
Defo?
find this.
Oh god, the timing. The timing is
Ne oluyor?
horrible. And Defo!
Durdular ya kanka.
Defo's just going to get the hell out of there. Why would he want to stick
Mexican
around on that? Now he's got a better angle to play with. He can try and catch the timing just right. Scary's been
GG.
amazing. There's the
Nice.
shutdown. It's 12 for Gambit. And X10 starting to feel the heat. It's not just map point, it's match point. And this is the quarterfinals between these two. X10 have pushed Gambit further than most of us could have predicted.
Yarınki maçlar nedir bakalım.
Again, a
Nasıl
little
vuramadı şurada
unfortunate
Evet
Pati
ya.
there. And again, Nats, quick as anything.
Baksana debuş atamamış amına koyayım.
Insane from Nats there. Yeah.
You don't get to this.
No, you don't. And again, that's the margin of error that you're kind of allowed versus Gambit. Nats punishing Patty there.
Aa yarın boş. Aynen yarın izin günü. Oley yarın off day.
I was going to say rifles across the border. Spectre for
Yarın
sure,
uykuş.
but nothing towards A side
Yine
other than
midden
spy
koşmuş
camp right
vallahi,
now.
yeter koşmayın
Looking
lan.
to get very aggressive towards bot mid. They're here so early, Lauren.
Yeah, but I think
Beyler
Nats is
ama
watching
arkaya dikkat.
this. Or at least keeping an eye on it. Yeah, Redgar gets called in, gets the
Çok
first
iyi
hit.
lan Redgar.
That's the first nail in the
Yerinde
coffin for
gördüm.
X10. Spike gonna go down. But
Yarın
would they expect the second
belli
player?
olmaz,
Doesn't
belki
matter.
açarım
Nats is
yayın.
posted on this one. He ain't gonna be
Makarayı yine
moving.
açarız belki.
Def on the other side can't quite get away, but Shadows has his back.
Söz vermiyorum
And it
ama.
looks like with
Ne
all
olur
the hopes
bilmiyorum
and
yani.
dreams that were coming
Bildirime
together,
göre
maybe the
gelirsiniz.
chances, it's just gonna be down to
Oy.
two. Patty and
Verecekler mi?
Scary with it all on their shoulders.
Nice Chronicle.
Fatih 2 tane headshot attı.
GG.
Chronicle'a verin abi
Gambit
bu roundu.
yarı finalde.
Semi-finals calling their
Bu roundu
name.
verin abi.
But on the
Chronicle'a
other
yazın
side,
çocuğa.
X10 exceeding expectations,
Absolutely.
pushing Gambit so far.
Which so few teams have done, right? Again, there's so
It's a
few teams
short
you can throw into that mix.
Ne oldu lan, dans
Again, you're
ediyordunuz.
talking about previously at Masters, I said this before, Map 1.
Hala gülüyorlar ama.
Hala
umurlarında değil.
gülüyorlar
But
ya.
again, you put that as a byproduct of the opponent, right? X10 have come out, like you said, exceeded all expectations. And honestly made this a really interesting series when arguably with the veto and the way that Map 1 played out, you would lean away from
Bu
that
arada bu
veto
sonuçla
reality.
beraber
Of course.
3. EMEA takımı da yarı finalde.